What's up, guys? We're back. This is episode 20, and we just witnessed game seven of the NBA Finals. I know the Thunder won, so the Thunder is 2025 NBA champions. We got a lot to talk about. KD also got traded this morning to the Houston Rockets, so we're going to be talking about everything. But so let's just get right into it.
We can start off with the finals. I have a lot to talk about, not just with the game, but just with some other stuff.
Yep.
First things first, prayers up to Tyrese.
Yeah.
Man, that was heartbreaking to me. You saw it right away on his face,
Yeah.
his dad's face. It's just those are things you hate to see in sports, especially game seven. He started off with those three threes, and you kind of knew the risk with the calf strain. That's one thing, like he had to not I wouldn't say no is gonna happen, but like same thing happened to KD.
Yeah.
That calf strain, that's why it's so tough. But I mean it's game seven. Kudos to him for toughing it out. But I don't know much else to say, but it's just heartbreaking. And then we'll talk about it more. But just like you just could like I'll talk about explaining more into detail, but like they really missed him this game in a lot of ways. And
Yeah,
yeah.
like you said, prayers out to him. I mean, yeah, it just sucks. Like you said, I mean, when he first got, I mean, wasn't it like game two or three where they first said he was dealing with the calf? It was
I
earlier.
thought it was game four. Maybe it was that early.
I thought it was really because I remember it being really early, and then he played a couple games, and I'm like, okay, maybe he'll be fine. Because you whenever you
Uh,
hear that, you're scared of the next game when they play. Just
I thought it was game four, game five,
oh,
but
I thought okay, maybe it was around that. I thought I remember it being kind of early. Maybe it was game four then. But
because I thought it was only game six was the only game he really played.
oh, okay, maybe
But I might be wrong. I'm not
no, I might be
100%.
wrong. It was yeah, but I know he played a couple games on it though. But yeah, I mean, it just sucks to see him go down like that. In the final game of the season too. I mean, he's gonna be having to rehab all next season too. So, you just hate to see
Yeah.
that happen to anyone. Just as a person, you never want to see anyone get hurt. But then just them as a team too, it really hurt their chances, in that game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just the whole game, it felt like Tyrese, like I know some games, whatever the stats don't show everything. He doesn't have 30, 40, but like I'm giving him a lot of props for this whole playoff run. And then in this game, we just see how like a lot of players just play a lot better with him. Like I think Obi Toppin didn't have the craziest game. I think he just flourishes with Tyrese.
Mm,
And then shout out to TJ McConnell, but I think I just love his role minimized with Tyrese there because then he can just get those little buckets off the bench. But
yeah.
I think he was actually a key reason, not to hate, but just like why they lost the game, just because in playing primary point guard, he was forcing things. He did have those buckets in the third quarter, but he just not everyone was playing good around him. He had some bad turnovers, and he just all right. Maybe it's not against him. It's just more praise to Tyrese, who will get everyone more involved. So I don't know what you think about that.
I definitely thought about this. It's just like what we've witnessed at times with Warrior fans, like before the Jimmy trade, we have a bunch of sort of, you call role players trying to
Mhm.
do so many more things that they might like they're not going to be consistent at doing on a daily basis. And, it's just tough. And then I think a thing that also stands out because of that is they had 17 turnovers in like the third quarter.
Yeah,
It's just something that's really uncharacteristic of them. They were bad turnovers too. Like OKC had 27 points off of that, those 17. And they ended up with like I think 21 to end the game. So they just had a whole bunch of turnovers. And yeah, I think everyone, they hung in there for a little while. I mean, they were leading at half by one because that three at the end. But like you said, it's just tough once, your best player goes out like that, and he just does so much for you guys. It's just
yeah. It just I just saw a little video where Obi Toppin was like it was on his mind the whole game. He felt like it was his fault because he passed Tyrese the ball, which I mean that's I wouldn't say it's not his fault at all.
yeah.
But just stuff like that where it's like Obi Toppin I think would have had a lot greater game with Tyrese there. McConnell wouldn't have had to play that many minutes and had to, because he was playing hard and he was getting some tough buckets, but just that flow. Tyrese Halliburton just plays with such great flow. And that's why I think they succeeded throughout the playoffs. And that's why I've just loved his game. It's just because that flow that he has that you
Yeah.
can't really replicate with any players. He passes the ball, not just for assists, but just to push it. Everyone, Siakam, I think would have had a lot better game with Tyrese, and it's just I don't know how else to say. It's just really sad, but we haven't made kudos to the Thunder. They did win the game. There's some things I will talk about, but yeah.
Yeah. You said Obi said it was on his mind the whole game.
Oh yeah, he just got quoted. He said, um, he was like, it was in post. He said we need a tie out there. It sucked the soul out of us. I ain't going to say out of everybody, but I don't feel like I played good because I was thinking about it the whole day and I felt like it was my fault. And because he was saying he
You,
like passed Tyrese the ball before
that,
that happened.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me because I mean I was watching it and it did seem at times where they just weren't. I don't want to say not energetic. They just like were just out there, going through the motions. But
Yeah,
I felt like I saw that from a couple people. Shout out to Ben Mather. I mean, he kept balling till the end. But
yeah, I give him a lot of
so I mean,
props
but that's the thing about just sports. I mean, the mental part of it. I mean, it's a game seven. I know it's unfortunate what happens, and I mean that's their brother. But like that whole mental thing, you just gotta disregard all that and just keep playing. So I mean, it's tough. It's easier said than done. But I mean, it sucks. But
because yeah, when he went down, I thought I wasn't like the Pacers are automatic loss. I thought it
yeah,
was
yeah. No, I didn't think that either. Yeah,
because it's one game, so anything can happen.
yeah,
And maybe just a big Siakam game. I mean, there's a lot of hypotheticals, whatever.
yeah,
Um, that third quarter just kind of because they're always in the game. They're up at 1.5, I believe. It's just that third
yeah.
quarter just kind of messed them up. And I want to ask you, did you think? Because a lot of people blame, or I was because I like search up on Twitter like stuff. Or I don't have Twitter. I just search up a name and stuff pops up.
Yeah.
And a big thing, which I think, because in my mind, I think I didn't lose him the game was Rick Carlisle. He left Siakam on the bench for like 3 to 4 minutes, and he was playing like Tony Bradley,
Hmm.
Thomas Bryant. And in my opinion, in Game 7, I don't think Tony Bradley or Thomas Bryant should be in the Game 7. Even Ben Shepherd, I think, got a lot of minutes for a Game 7. I think you just roll out with those top guys, like you play Siakam 40 plus minutes and deal with it. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's when they went on their 9-0 run, right? Which is the one
Yeah,
that sparked like they just didn't really like yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I think your guys, especially once Tyrese goes out, I feel like you got to be prepared to just play the rest of the game. Like
yeah,
if you're a star player, if you're Siakam, like you're going the whole game. I mean, you could just rest later. And then
exactly.
I don't know though, so I disagree with it. I didn't agree with yeah. I mean, I think that
I
cost
don't even
them.
understand it
Yeah,
to be
I
honest.
don't understand it either, to be honest. Yeah.
Maybe Thomas Bryant could get a little bit, but Tony Bradley, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
No offense to him, he's probably a cool guy, but just like he just doesn't look like he should belong on the floor
Yeah.
in those minutes. Like he had a couple. I won't say he lost them. He definitely did not lose them the game, but just there was no moments on the floor where I was like, like comfortable with him being on the floor.
But those minutes cost them. That's when they went on that 9-0 run. They were
Exactly,
getting
that's what I'm
easy.
saying.
They were getting wide open threes off of transition points. They were getting every single offensive rebound they wanted for relocation,
Yeah.
just wide open jump shots. That cost them. That's the spark that ignited it and turned into 20. I know they kind of made it a little close at the end for a little bit, but that's really what killed it, that run.
And Siakam never got. I feel like he was just on the bench too long, so he couldn't find a good flow.
Yeah, he never got back in the rhythm.
Yeah, and I know, like I kind of mentioned, what do you think of that opinion where like McConnell, even though he was getting those buckets, do you think he was forcing it and he kind of cost them the game just by trying to play hero ball?
It's tough to say. I mean, I know he did have some turnovers. I mean, it's just hard to say. I think it's just the reality of why he's in the role that he's in. Like if he was
Yeah.
expected to do this like every single night, maybe we would see more of this.
Yeah, he had
So
7 turnovers.
yeah, so I just think it is what it is. Like it's like I mean, you had to have someone step up and I guess he tried to do it. It's just tough. Um I just think it's the reality of just who he is as a player, and why he's in the role he's in.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying all this. But in the third quarter, when he was getting like those buckets, I was like biggest fan. So it's kind of
Yeah.
just, you're right. It's
But that's
just,
why he was in that specific role that like, with just how the roster's constructed with Tyrese doing what he's doing, he's able to flourish in his specific role. But now with him out, he had to try to do more than he could do, and it just didn't work out.
yeah. This game reminds me a lot of the Warriors when Curry went down. It's like
Meh.
a lot of the role players. I mean, I think they have better role players than us, but it's just they had to step up. And in these roles, it's like you see why they're not these role players on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't really blame them. Like they played their heart out. It's just the sport, the injury, the Curry, the Halliburton, which is like it's heartbreaking. And then Matherin kind of like Kaminga steps up points wise, but it's like still not enough. It's just yeah, it reminds me a lot of that actually.
Yeah, the
And
difference is though this I mean this is one game. So it's like
mhm,
you were in it for so long. If if anyone was dealing with any mental things or just were out, you just got to snap out of it. It's like you just
yeah,
have to, It's and
yeah,
you
that's why Obi Toppin
yeah,
just his game was just.
so it's like yeah, it's tough.
And then we talked about it last
I mean,
pod.
people could say we only had to win one too, because if Steph was going to come back game six, but this is different. But
That just shows that just shows how good Tyrese, these superstars are to teams. I mean, the teams are like the Pacers are built on like even how good he is, they're just built on how he plays, like that fast paced.
yeah.
So their whole identity
To give
changes when
to
he
give
plays.
OKC credit, I mean, I talked on the pod the other day about I thought they were gonna do this regardless. That defense, you saw their defensive intensity in that third quarter. I mean, they were getting block shots. Shea was out there blocking shots. Chet was just absolutely everywhere at the rim, and just
Yeah,
they were they were they
Chet
were
had a great
they
game.
were swarming everyone. So, we'll never know what would happen if Tyree stayed out there because he was having a great start, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that defense is just one of the best defenses that we've seen, and it's just I think it wouldn't have mattered, but yeah, we don't know. We won't know.
Yeah, let's talk about the Thunder. Shout out, Chet had a great game.
Yeah.
Just defensively, he was just a monster. And then Case and Wallace and Caruso were just like they were. I kind of, I don't know. I want the Pacers to win, so I'm gonna hate a little bit. I feel like they hack a lot. Like on those steals, they just get straight arm. But the Case of Wallace had like some like really good like clutch. Like just like stats wise, he never shows out too much, but like he just had some steals at the right moment, the right time that just changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah.
Same with Caruso, just literally on those swipes, like it feels like if the ball is any like sort of way like in front of them, they're just gonna snatch it. So
Mhm.
shout out them, but I do think they hack.
Yeah, no, they
But
definitely are a lot really physical.
yeah,
Yeah. But you
I'm
know,
biased, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But on the other side of the floor, I mean what you know, no one had a monster game like I thought, that's what I was thinking. But Jalen Williams, I mean, and Shea too. I mean, Shea won MVP for a reason, but I thought they both played well enough offensively, obviously. And
yeah,
I mean, in that stretch, I mean, Jalen Williams just had some crazy finishes, just insane
yeah,
touch
he
at the
did have that
rim.
one.
Couple of them probably could have been fouls. That one he was arguing, I didn't think it was. I thought it was actually great defense, and he just made a tough shot. But
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, he's just, I mean, the offensive player that he's turned into. A lot of credit to him. He's been great.
Yeah, he had a really slow start like his first half, but
Yeah.
in that third quarter, and just that second half in general, he got it going.
And then
Shea, I think he
Shea,
had a really good game too.
and then Shea, how many assists did he end up with? He finished with 12
12.
assists. I mean, and that's one of those where I mean, I don't even care what it says on the box score. You could just see his playmaking was just on display today. He was just attacking
Yeah.
the rim and just everyone was swarming him. He's getting doubled, sometimes tripled, and he was just finding the open guy and just generating easy shots, which is what led to a bunch of these catch and shoot open threes, which are just good looks. Casey Wallace was hitting a bunch. Um, what Jalen Williams got a bunch of open looks, and I mean, so Shea, shout out to him. He had a great game, and he was generating everything for his team.
Yeah, shout out. Even though whatever, unfortunately, the Thunder they had a good they did their job.
Yeah.
Uh, even like a lot of stuff wasn't even on the stat sheet. Like Lou Dort stat sheets wise, he didn't have a great game, but he just had a couple big offensive rebounds and like defensive
Okay.
stops. That's just like you can't really tell with the stats or the box score, but just like changes like the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah.
And and yeah, they have a not to look for in the future too much, but they just have a real bright future because they have all these picks. I'm pretty high on the guy they drafted this year, Nikola Topic. And I think he'll help them actually a good amount just because they need another ball handler. I think that's one thing, just someone that can create their own shot. Because it seemed like they won the championship, so I don't want to like whatever say like anything negatives, but it just seems like at times there are only two like shot creators, ball handlers were Shea and J Dub. So maybe if they can get one thing, it's maybe that. But
Yeah.
shout out just their like you said, their defense is like we talked about how like they're one of the best teams all time, blah blah blah. Their defense is like one thing you can look at and be like, this is like great, like historically good defense, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, shout out to the front office for constructing their team like that. Um, every single person in their rotation is just gonna play defense and play physical and play hard. So, and that was intentional by their front office. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say? I mean, it just sucks for Indiana just because, I mean,
Now next year's cooked
because
too.
next year, yeah, I mean, you just it's hard because, yeah, next year's good.
And they went to 7. I mean,
Yeah.
I,
No,
I really
I
want
mean,
them
it
to
just sucks
win.
even more just because obviously he got hurt, but then also like just next year, just
Yeah.
you're always looking forward to at least you could bounce back next year, and it's
The
just
East is, I mean, not to forward it, but like not to, but like with the Celtics, Tatum and Halliburton, two of like the best teams in the East. Maybe that Desmond Bain trade looks, not too bad now, just because the East is wide open. Yeah, Dame injured too. That's
the
like
Knicks about to get an easy path to the final.
I don't know, Magic. Oh yeah, Cavs. It's gonna be Magic, Cavs, maybe Philly or something. But yeah, those East, the three Achilles tears with Milwaukee, Boston, Indiana.
Yeah.
It's really sad, but I just eh,
Yeah.
I think both teams had a historical run, but the Pacers had a historical run, which I think it's too bad they lost, but I think people will be talking about this for a while. And then even the injury kind of shows. I think Tyrese, for a while, he was known as overrated or something, or not as well. But I think he cemented himself as like one of those top echelon point guards. I have him in my top 5 point guards in the NBA. That might be recency bias, but just the way he makes everyone better, I
Yeah,
have him in
I
my
might
top.
have a little bit of recency bias, but definitely right about the whole overrated take. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, we both never thought that, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean that's done regardless now. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on about the game? I mean, it just sucks that it had to end that way, because it's
Yeah.
just that they lost, or that they not just that they had to lose, but just because we never got to see them with at full strength because of injury, you know. But
And next year's, yeah.
yeah,
It's for Tyrese is just
yeah,
you talked about Ben Mathurin, yeah. Shout out to him. He was trying to get his points at the end too, but throughout the game, even when he wasn't getting points in the fourth, he was getting like a bunch of offensive rebounds and stuff.
yeah,
And I kind of wish they played through him a little more. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is. It's not like you can look at like, oh, the Pacers could have done this, that, but they played hard as hell.
yeah.
Carlisle maybe had that little coaching thing, but like he's like one of the best coaches in the NBA, so
Hmm.
can't get too mad at
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Man, those turnovers, that's crazy. That killed them.
That's why I don't know. I want to say like put McConnell on the bench to let it go run through Nemhard and stuff, but you can't
Yeah.
really put him on the bench when he's getting all those buckets. So it's a tough decision,
It'll
but
be interesting to see next season though, because I mean, they're not going to be competing again next season just because Tyrese's injury. But it'll be interesting to see if like, Ben Mathurin takes like another leap or not. Because I mean, he had 24 points today, 6 for 14, got to the line. He shot 10 free throws, was 10 for 10. But it'll just be interesting because these wings that are just ultra athletic and have their size, they have an advantage. They can just easily get to their spots and rise up, like a
yeah,
Kuminga, like a Ben Mathurin, even like a Siakam. So it'll be
yeah,
interesting to see just, because he's gonna just be completely more involved next year and have more reins over the offense probably. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that and some of their other players like Nimhard and uh even like a Neesmith, but
yeah. I like
it'll
that
be
you.
yeah.
I think I mentioned it, but just Mathurin reminds me a lot of Kuminga. Just the way, like, just ultra athletic, like you said, wings that can just sure it might not be the prettiest, but like he's gonna get to his spots. He's great at getting to the line. He has like a pretty good whistle for the type of player he is. And there's some times where like I don't know if you remember the first quarter, he had like a catch and shoot and like he hesitated.
Yeah, but
So he's
then
not like the Pacers are like a kind of like a fast .5 basketball, and Mathurin's more of like a kind of slow, not slow because he's super fast, but just like he's gonna get his bucket and like his movement and stuff. It's kind of like Kaminga, where it's like he doesn't kind of operate with that same
Yeah,
flow.
read and react and just
Yeah.
yeah.
But like they're still like ultra athletic and like useful. And we
Mhm.
saw that in I think it was game 3 or 4 with Mathurin. He had that good game. And even in this game where it's like there's just moment like Kaminga and Mathurin's like games where it's like, man, they look unstoppable. And then there's
Yeah.
moments where it's like, what are you doing, you know? So
Yeah.
they have those kind of games.
Yeah. Hmm. But shout out to Thunder, historic season, you know. Even though I don't think they were close to as dominant as they should have been to end it off, but you know, it's whatever, they got the championship, so it doesn't matter. But moving on to what ended up being the most just probably just interesting news of the day. Kevin Durant got traded to the Houston Rockets for not too much. For what was it, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, a first and 4 seconds, right? Was there anything else?
It was like 5 seconds and the 10th
5 seconds?
pick
Okay.
this year, which is shout out to the Rockets because they didn't bite the bullet and like they waited. I
Yeah.
was always keeping up with the news, blah blah blah. And it seemed like they wanted him from the beginning, but they didn't want to give up they didn't give up Jabari. Of course they were never gonna give up Men or Şengün. Like Katie's trade value was not that high, but I thought they might give up like they didn't even give up Kim Whitmore, who doesn't even play.
Yeah.
Um, and they gave up Jalen Green, who he does. I don't even know if that's a. Is that like? Would you consider Jalen Green like a positive asset?
I mean, you know my opinion though.
I agree. Like I agree with you. I think it's
Yeah,
for salary match and like he's probably a bad contract. I think. Do you think he's a bad contract?
100%.
Yeah. So I think it's like either a negative asset or a bad contract.
We'll use both.
Yeah, both. Dylan Brooks is a piece that I wouldn't want to give away. I think
I
that's
was about to mention that too, but yeah.
you have to. But so maybe Phoenix could get they can reroute him, get another first, but.
Yeah. But that's the one
I
thing they're gonna have to figure out. I mean, they have the whole season to do it. It's just who's gonna slide into that other wing spot, whatever. Because I mean, you're gonna have Fred. Uh, you're gonna have. Why am I blanking? You're gonna have Fred,
Um,
Katie, Sengun, Amen Thompson, and then
Jabari.
that instantly your mind goes to Jabari. But then it's just
Because
like
yours Tari Eason.
next to KD, I would think they were gonna lean Tari Eason first because just next to KD, they're both that similar type of athlete, type of build, you know, both, you know what I mean? And it's
I my starting lineup would be Jabari, and I'm thinking of it more because I trust Jabari's spacing more than Tari, and I guess because
Mhm.
Katie's a spacer too. It just a men can't really, or yeah, men's not really a spacer, and
You
Tari Eason can shoot too.
think that'll work defensively though? Kate, like,
I know what you're thinking
you know,
because they're like the same, similar. Where like who's gonna guard like that three
yeah, and
that
just off
big.
the screens and stuff, you know, they're both not, you know, they might have some like both of them out there together. It's just
Yeah,
consistent.
they're pretty. I won't say like Katie's course way better, but they're similar players defensively. I
Yeah.
don't know. I kind of like it defensively because I know what you're saying though. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah, I mean they'll figure it. They have a whole season to
they'll
figure
figure.
it out.
And it's like
Uh,
whether they start Tari or Jabari, it's like there's no wrong answer, you know.
yeah. I think it's
It's
just gonna be crazy to see the KD switch up next season. You know, I've been saying it all season. He's the same player. Um,
I honestly, I disagree. I'm opposite of that. I don't think he's bad or anything, but I don't think he's like a top 5 player or top.
well, maybe not. I'm not saying that tier one like best like tier one superstar right now, but in the same way that everyone just went back to LeBron and you know everyone was cooking LeBron and Steph for the seasons they were having like their teams were five under 500 like then they make the trades their teams start doing well and then they're all glorifying them again you know like the same thing's gonna happen to KD next season but
Uh yeah, we'll see.
he's
I
still
still
at
think it's
that
good.
superstar level like top 10 player in the league easily.
I think it's like bottom wise type 10, but
Hmm.
I mean, we'll see. I think he's definitely gonna make them better because, especially because they didn't give up. I mean, Dylan Brooks is the only positive they gave up.
Yeah.
They kind of they can just give a man more minutes, or he got a lot of minutes at the end of the year. But him, Tari, and Jabari, the Rockets have, they have a they have a great future and just like they're in one of the best spots
Yeah.
in the whole league. But and I kind of want to talk about them a little more because I have some questions I have to ask you. But just for Phoenix, I give this like a D plus.
I think it goes back to I remember you asked me on the pod a couple weeks ago, like if you're Phoenix, and obviously we didn't know what the offer is going to be like, but you said, would you entertain a mediocre type of trade? And we were like, it might, we were just talking about like it might end up having to come to that, you know? Like, would you rather just keep him on your team where, seamlessly both sides didn't seem like both sides wanted to be like together anymore, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, would you rather just that happen and you just get nothing from him in the end and he just maybe both parties are miserable and then, or just get whatever you can from him? And it seems like they just ended up taking the latter, like whatever they could get from the guy. But
I think it's more, I don't know. I don't know. I look up all the rumors, so I don't know how true they are, but
the
I saw
Heat,
like, yeah, the Heat and even
yeah.
the Raptors offer like RJ, Poto, and nine. I think that's like
Yeah.
a way better offer.
Yeah. I mean,
And, and then the Heat, they didn't offer a great package. Maybe it was like the 20th pick and like Wiggins and Hame. It's just Jalen. I know it's like Jalen Green, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, like your three highest paid players all being shooting guards is just so gross.
they're gonna trade Beal though.
How though? He's no
I
trade clause.
I I don't they I saw something that was like they're trying to they like want to ship him now, but
I heard, yeah, I've been hearing that like I think yeah, they hate having him on the team, but
yeah.
like
But they just have to have loved Jalen Green and that like the 10th pick too, just having that asset. I don't know, just to have
I
just
think the 10th
about
pick is
those
actually
two.
really good ask because I
Yeah,
like this
they
draft.
must have like yeah, they must have viewed Jalen Green with like a superstar type potential just because, I mean, just the flashes he's shown, even though he's just super inconsistent. Like his flashes that he's shown have been great, but I don't know. They just, yeah,
Yeah, I looked it up. Everything is saying Bradley Beal's like shouldn't be back, but
yeah,
I just I think the only team that would take him is like one of those like bad teams that would just, take him for a draft pick and his like he's probably not going to do a no trade clause to go like to the Hornets.
yeah,
But I mean, if they can get rid of Beal and draft because they have so many like shooting guards, small forwards, like they still have Grayson Allen, like Dylan Brooks is kind of a shooting guard, Royce O'Neal's like a small forward, Ryan Dunn,
yeah.
and they have like no point guard or no center, so
Well, they
and they
still
don't
is
have
Ty still on their roster? They still have him too, right?
nah, he's a free
Oh, he's a
agent.
free agent.
And and they don't have their picks like next year's, so they can't really be terrible. So they're just like they're in a terrible spot if we're being honest. Like
Yeah,
and you can go back to like their trade to get KD. I know it's, looking back on it's not good, but it's just that was a terrible trade.
yeah,
They're like an NBA Finals level team and they traded I think it was like 5 first plus 4 swaps, so like 9 first, plus McHale who went for 5 first, so it's like 14 first, plus Cam Johnson, who's like probably gets you three. So it's like damn near 20 first round picks for KD.
yeah,
And he got you like not even a playoff series win. It was just terrible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Looking back, I mean, it looks horrible now, but yeah. I mean, definitely, just this makes things a lot more interesting in the West now. Because I mean, the Rockets were already dominating the regular season; they were the second seed, and now they got the one thing. Like, all we talked about was just their half court offense. They need a guy that could just go out there and get them a bucket and take over. But so I mean, this is definitely gonna help them. But
Yeah, I mean,
what's the
yeah.
interesting?
As a Warriors fan, it's a little scary, and just the West in general. But I'll give this like a A- for the Rockets because I think it's a super good trade just on paper. You didn't really have to because with the 10th pick, like whoever they got is not going to be in the rotation because they have so many guys. And then they kind of got off the Jalen Green contract. So the only thing you would say is the Dylan Brooks, but yeah, I'd damn near give it an A plus actually.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
give it an A. But yeah, yeah.
but my questions I kind of I have a bunch of questions I want to ask you that kind of relate to all this is just do you think a bunch of teams will stop going away from like doing these big packages for like because like KD, whatever, he got a first and like Jalen Green and stuff, but like the 4 to 5 first round picks and swaps. Do you think just because of I feel like have you ever seen that happen and it was like it ended up good for a team? Because every time I think of like a 4 first round picks plus swaps plus additional stuff, like it never ends up good.
Yeah, and part of that's just because of who they're trading for, who's like on the market to be able to get traded like that. Like you're
Mhm.
never, I mean, that's why the Luka thing was just so crazy. It's just because you never really see a player like that get traded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be, I think we're gonna get away from a lot of that. But
I just think with what we like every team is kind of built through the draft now,
yeah,
and every team that did that, it's kind of future kind of like the Nets did all that for Harden. I mean, you can blame injuries and all that, but like it didn't work out.
I think it'll be interesting to see what OKC does.
Hmm.
Just with all their picks and stuff. Because I mean, I
Hmm.
think they're gonna want, especially with a bunch of contracts coming up. I mean, they're gonna pay guys. I think they're obviously, I mean, those younger players, just the younger contracts they'll get from drafting players will obviously help them. But I think they're gonna want to look for a lot of just vets too that they get like more type of like Caruso's or whatnot. People that are just ready to play now that they could get on cheap deals potentially, or like not maybe not so much cheap deals, but that'll fit their money and just uh like good deals. I don't.
Yeah,
That's not really the word, but you know what I mean.
I think they already kind of did that with like Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe.
Yeah.
I know they have the best crazy playoffs, but they have really cheap deals.
Yeah.
And then especially in the regular season, they had like really good moments. Aaron Wiggins had a pretty couple pretty good like playoff moments. Um, Caruso, you saw that that Josh Giddey, even though he was a high pick, has high potential. They traded him for the Caruso for like a role player in a win now, and he did exactly what they traded him for. You
Yeah.
know, the defense and all that. Case and Wallace, they drafted a guy that did exactly that. So they're gonna have to in these next couple years, they're gonna have to probably get rid of someone just
Yeah.
because of money, which is too bad. Probably gonna be Hardenstein because he has like a 2 year deal, right?
Yeah.
So they'll probably just get rid of him. I don't know if they have to get rid of Dort or because they're gonna have to pay J-Dub, Shea, and maybe you think Chet will get a max too?
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone in the NBA gets max now if you're somewhat good.
Oh, that's what I want to ask you about too, is the maxes. Like, do
Yeah.
you think teams will s- like how like young players get a max if say they get one all-star, like
Yeah.
I saw another, I think it was Kenny's podcast, Numbers on the Board. Like, do you think teams won't be so quick to give maxes just because, like, it's like say
I
like
think I know what you mean. I think they are ready. It's just so hard with the way the league's gone. I mean, it's like run by players basically now. I mean,
yeah,
just because the Players Association and all that, CBA or whatever, it's already gone in that whole direction where I mean, players are just gonna hold out, or it's just their agents and all that. It's just they're gonna get their money. You know what I mean? It's just
I just I know like players hold out and ask for trade. Everyone's their what's it called, the relationship, but like like Desmond Bain has a max or near a max, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he does near
So,
max.
like, and that's kind of why I just read some reports like Memphis. I thought it was just random, but he was actually on the trade block, and like say the Memphis doesn't give him a max, like when they do, and
Yeah.
then they wait till like restricted free agency. Sure, that might piss Desmond Bain off, but like there's not many teams out there that have like a lot of cap space, and like who's really gonna give Desmond Bain, like a max?
Hmm.
But like those, like Cade Cunningham, you're gonna give a max to. Shea, you're gonna give a max to, but like those like tier two, like damn near tier three guys, I don't know if they're gonna get maxes. Like like even Chet. Well, they won the championship, so they're probably gonna have to max him when he's ready. But like,
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like I know what you're saying. I 100% agree with you. I never like I'm not trying to be like you know, getting mad at anyone's getting money. We obviously love people getting money. But
yeah, of course,
yeah, no, this whole thing because the NFL is totally different. But
totally
the whole
different.
thing about just it's if you're someone you're getting the max. I never like that. I think it's just stupid. This is like I don't know if it goes down to just the organizations being run a certain way. But like I said, I think a lot of it just has to go with the league, the direction the league has gone. Just because I mean that's just the norm now. You're just gonna have like what we said with Chet, like you're just gonna have to pay him just because of how the league is now. So I think it's tough. I think it's gonna be. I don't think total switch to what you're talking about is really possible. But
I don't think owners like I know like not to compare, but like the little Bengal situation where they trying to, prove a point. Or I mean, I know it's
you're
like
talking about wait the Bengals with the NFL.
you saw their first round pick. They're not
Well,
like
that's
it's
just the Bengals are just cheap. That's just the Bengals. That's not no one. That's just the bank. They're notoriously cheap. Like I saw they had to sell like some type of it was like licensing rights. They had to sell something to in order to even pay Joe Burrow. Like I forgot what it was. I'm gonna look it up. But they couldn't even pay Joe. It was like they had to sell something.
yeah, okay. I meant it as in like, do you think an owner might say, what am I gonna give an example to? Who's like a good young player that's like really good, but not like who's up for an extension? Let me think. Who's like a maybe a max player, but that I'm trying to think of like a like say when the Rockets say when Amen
You want me
Thompson.
to? Do you want me to give you a player?
I was thinking,
Oh,
or do you have one in mind?
well, no, no. Just say what you're gonna say, and then I'll say what I was
I
gonna
was
say.
thinking like say when Amen Thompson's up for extension
Yeah,
and he's progressing, and Amen Thompson's a hell of a player,
yeah.
hell of a player. But say I don't know, but
I
like
think that's a very bad example because that's the one player I wouldn't mind giving money to be
yeah, okay, yeah,
completely
actually
honest
you're
with
right
you. I
because
think
I,
that's
I love Amen Thompson.
yeah. Like
I'm trying to think of someone else. Um,
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of someone who got one recently, but
you know who I'm talking, or like Franz Wagner.
yeah, okay. I was gonna okay, yeah, that's okay. Uh-huh.
Like say the Magic are like nah, we won't give you the max, but we'll give you because I think he's getting like 50 million a year. We'll give you, or I have a better example, like Bam. Bam got a
Okay.
bag, but I don't think
Mhm.
Bam. Do you think Bam's a max player?
Uh no.
Exactly.
Well, by the standard of what the NBA has turned into, yeah, but
Yeah, for the NBA, yeah.
yeah.
But like players like Bam, players like Franz, here we'll get a couple of them.
Like
Like
did Tyrese Maxey get paid? He got paid, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Tyrese, yes, Tyrese Maxey. That's a great. Even
that's
like
the example I was gonna use, but
even like LaMelo Ball
yeah.
is like Scotty Barnes, like players like that, where like they're really good. Like, but like
Hmm.
I don't think they're number one on a championship team.
Yeah.
Um, it just kind of maybe pigeonholed and kind of messes up the team and their franchise.
Yeah.
But like it's also like if you don't pay them, like you said, like
No, but that's yeah, it's turned into that though, that they
it's
just
turned
have to
into
pay
like
him.
they're
Yeah.
gonna ask for a trade.
Yeah.
But realistically, if they don't get like butthurt, like they go into restricted free agency, they're still gonna get a bag, but maybe not that max.
Hmm.
So just instead of paying these guys the max, you pay them 30, 40. So I don't know what the NBA could do or these owners could do, but I think a lot of teams are kind of just screwing themselves doing this. And I just kind of wanted to, because I really love like the GM stuff and all that. And so that's why I'm thinking of like the contracts and then these draft picks is just, I think a lot of teams have just kind of messed up uh their franchises with this. And yeah.
You know, I agree, but like over the past decade, that's what it's turned into. Like back in 2013, 2014, like this wasn't happening, it's completely
Mhm.
different. But I think it would just be so hard to shift it back. I don't
Mhm.
think it's possible, but
I know the Zoom's about to end, but I still kind of want to talk. Um, and just I think the big thing is the best teams. All right. So just continuing what I was saying is I think now that we have like the second apron and all that, just with like NBA teams is like before you were like teams were allowed to just pay everyone, trade for everyone, and GM's jobs kind of just draft well, trade for these players. But now I feel like the best teams are like kind of the teams that are smartest with their money. Like you see that with Indiana, who had like Neesmith was on a good deal. Um, who else? They kind of they traded for these guys when they had low value. They kind of brought their value back up. OKC got all these picks from that Paul George trade, and then all these like good contracts, Aaron Wiggins, um, Cruz they trade for from Josh Giddey, and it's kind of like it's more like money. Money is matters more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. It's just it's really just because the players though, like I'm gonna use the Kaminga for an example. It's just like Kaminga should not be getting 30 plus mil a year, just he shouldn't. But
Yeah.
that's what he's because what did they offer him that he denied earlier in the season? How much was that a year?
I think he got offered like a 4-year 120, so 30 mil, but he wanted like 35.
Exactly. It's like, see, so that's why you haven't seen anything get done. It's just because he wants a certain amount that they don't want to pay him, and it's just you just continue to have that standstill. And it's like, and the Warriors can afford to to do that right now just because it's Kaminga. But imagine it's like if you were to say like a LaMelo Ball where the Hornets suck, and even though he might not be a number one on this contending team, it's like
They have to, yeah.
well, quote unquote,
And
have to just because like what they're just gonna play it, they're just gonna have a season without LaMelo, or just he's gonna they're gonna trade him for like nothing. So yeah, it's tough because of what it's just the players are demanding what they want. So
yeah, so I don't know what has to change, but maybe I think the like we mentioned earlier, like the 4 to 5 first round picks, like stars getting traded for that much.
mm,
I think that will for sure change just because we saw it hasn't worked.
yeah.
And even like we kind of saw that this year where like San Antonio, if they want to, they have the pieces. I think even though Giannis said he doesn't want to be traded, I think San Antonio, if they really want to, they can get Giannis.
Hmm. Oh yeah, no, I
And
agree too.
and they're just not really pushing for it, which shout out to them because I damn near might do that because him and Wemby would be crazy, but they're just playing patient. He's 30 years old, Giannis, you know. And even KD, they could have easily got KD. And even Houston could have got KD for, they could have got him maybe a week earlier for way more. But they're
Hmm.
just these superstars trading like half your roster,
Yeah,
half your picks for them is just not a good ingredient.
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Do you have any more questions?
What else was I gonna talk about? Um, we talked about the KD trade. Do you think now that Indiana's not even a contender, do you think who is like your contenders in the East for next year? I know this is way too early because
Yeah,
trade, all that could happen.
yeah, definitely you gotta have the Knicks up there. Uh, gotta have the Cavs, even though we've seen them disappoint multiple years now. You just
Yeah.
have to. I'm trying to think. That's tough. I mean, I think those are a level above everyone else. Um,
Hmm.
I guess now you could throw the Magic up there. I'm not ready to like. I think they're gonna be good. I'm
Hmm.
not like I guess in terms of contending, you could say that just because of how weak the East is. But
Hmm.
let me look. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone.
If
Yeah,
Embiid's
I
healthy,
mean Detroit's definitely going to be in the mix, but
Philly
like the East is so weak, like in comparison to the West now with all these injuries too. I mean, you got yeah.
are the Hawks contenders.
I mean, you might have to consider them as contenders now. I mean, what is it? I wouldn't 100% wouldn't, but like they could be in the mix now. It's a top five seed just because
Toronto, Philly with Embiid, I think is, but I don't know how
that's a
Embiid is.
sleeper team potentially. I mean, it's just so because with all their health, it's just you don't know. But.
Yeah,
'Cause obviously, with Embiid and prime MVP form, they're definitely a contender. But I don't know. He's always been hurt now, so you can't rely on that. You can't just say he's going to be that.
yeah. So it's too bad. It's too bad, but
Yeah,
I mean, maybe there'll be an. I can't really think of any other trades because Giannis seems like he's gonna stay. Um, KD seemed like the big trade that's gonna happen this summer.
yeah.
I mean, we weren't really expecting Desmond Bain to get traded. He got traded, so maybe we'll see something else. Um, oh yeah, that was my question. Do you see any other superstars or let's say Desmond Bain level players and above be traded this summer?
Uh, no, I don't really think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, like we talked about this. Like Boston blowing up some of their team, you know. But
Yeah, Drew
those are the only guys I
Holiday.
could think of. Oh, definitely. The Mavs are definitely going to do something. Like I'd be shocked if they don't do something. We've talked about this too, though. Like they have too much
Yeah,
frontcourt depth, and they need backcourt depth. Like even for when Kyrie gets back, they just need more backcourt depth.
yeah. I think PJ Washington doesn't seem like.
I wouldn't be. Uh, I wouldn't be shocked if Austin Reeves gets traded. But
Oh yeah, because money wise, they need to pay
yeah,
him
that's
back.
the one I guess if you're talking about Desmond Bain type of like that type of tier. But
I think, I think, I think Jaren and Ja aren't completely safe. I know they could keep it, but
yeah.
if someone offers 4 or 5 firsts for either of them, if I'm them, I wouldn't say no. Oh, that's another thing. I think I was gonna ask is like those teams that got all those first round picks. I feel like those teams just like I think that's like if I'm a team with a superstar and I'm offered 4 to 5 firsts for my superstar and I'm not a championship level team, I'm damn near taking the first because I think it's just a big advantage. Just
Mhm.
like you see that with the Rockets, the Thunder, they just have all these picks, and then all you need to do is you draft the men, and now look you look super good, Şengün and all that. You just need to hit on one of them, but then at the
Yeah,
same
but
time,
it only looks good when you have that, when you have a Shea that helps you win a championship, you know? When you
but the
like,
Rockets don't have a say,
yeah, and they haven't got close to championship.
but they got the second seed,
That
and then
doesn't
they
it's in
got
the first
KD,
round.
but they just got KD.
Okay, but so we'll have to see what happens. See, that's it. Now you have who I consider someone that could really help you win a championship.
But the Rockets are in like even before the KD trade, they're just in like a great position, you
Yeah,
know?
but see, we were talking about Memphis the same way 3 years ago when they were facing the Warriors in the second round. You know what I mean? It's like one, if Houston didn't trade for KD and they had 3 more years of this, we would be talking about them in the same way we're talking about Memphis now. You know, it's just the years haven't come yet.
Yeah, you're right. Because with
Yeah.
that point, I'll like even disagree a lot with myself. Like, because New Orleans had a with the Drew Holiday, remember they had a
Yeah.
bunch of picks. They
Yeah.
didn't do
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Utah has a bunch of picks, and they're just like so. Sometimes it's too much.
Hmm.
Um, and then like Brooklyn has a bunch of picks. You don't know what they're
It's
going to do with
just
all
tough
that.
with the like, 'cause if you're gonna trade Jaw like for 5 first, it's like
What
I
are you
get.
going to do with that? Yeah.
I mean you, because Jaw. I mean Jaw for what it's worth. I mean he is like a. I mean like that. I don't I think he could be number one on a contending team. But he's definitely one of the like top, I would say 20, maybe 15 players in the league, in my opinion. But in terms of like it's you're gonna bank on getting because the whole reason you would do that is you don't think you can win with him and you're just gonna blow up your team to try to find that other guy. But like how rare is how likely is it that you find another guy that's gonna be better than Jaw with those picks, you know? And then you're just going to spend another decade figuring out if that person's going to be that. And you're going to go through the same thing you just went with Jaw for another decade, you know? And you're just going to keep repeating that process. So, I mean, I guess you
Yeah.
keep doing that until you do hit on a generational player or you do get the first overall pick and get that guy. But that's why it's just tough. That's why they just keep their player if they have a quote unquote superstar, you know? But
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. I think that for that 1A, you're totally right. But
that's why it's so tough if you have one of those guys that's like in between a non-superstar and between that, we know he could win. He could be a number one on a championship team, you know? It's difficult. But
yeah, these GM jobs are hard.
yeah. Yeah. And this is
Yeah.
talking about like all the money and stuff. But this is yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking from like the Hornets, like say I'm the Hornets, like what direction like would you go in? Because even trading LaMelo, like I don't know if that's doing much. Like those type of stars, like or like if you trade LaMelo for say like 4 first and like a I don't know what team would maybe like he goes to the Miami for 4 first and like Nikola Jovic, it's like the Hornets are still kind of screwed, you know? They're probably more screwed. The
Yeah.
fans they have a guy that because maybe LaMelo's not going to get them wins, but he'll get them some viewership. So it's tough. It's real tough.
Yeah.
But
Trying to think. Man, this the difference between East and the West is crazy.
I know I'm looking at the
Like
standings
I
right now.
honest, no, it's a crazy take to when the Pelicans are fully healthy. I think they're better than the Hawks, but
Yeah, if the Pelicans are fully healthy, they're damn near a contender in the East. Nah, they're not.
no, I don't know if I would go as far as a contender, but like that's what
Are
I'm
you
saying.
taking
It's like
Detroit or New Orleans or the Pelicans?
if they're fully healthy, the Pelicans, you're saying?
Yeah.
I
Or
I still think Detroit's. You got to give Detroit the credit for what
yeah,
they.
no, I still have I actually
Yeah.
I want Detroit to trade for Trey Murphy. I don't know. Not even
I don't think he's gonna be on the trade market though.
I heard he was on the market, but like their
Really?
asking price was like
Uh,
crazy high. So it's like one of those things where it's like,
are you gonna give up five first? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like are you gonna give up five first for Trey? And I don't think anyone's gonna do that, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like somebody that doesn't ban. Like I feel like they're like summer level player.
Yeah.
He'd be a great fit for Detroit, but I would do like the Ivy Holland and a couple first. But I mean, if you're New Orleans, do you want more like more picks and more like Pelicans have so much stuff, but like
Yeah.
so much like nothing up to. It's like they're kind of in a weird place too as a team.
Yeah. Man, this sucks. Boston's out of the mix next year, probably. Um,
So it's gonna be
they can still make
Cleveland.
the playoffs, but like they're not gonna do nothing.
Yeah, New
Indiana's
York.
done. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe, maybe some West team like just will send something to the East because the East knows like it's a wide open window. Like
Or
if
you
Indy,
could see someone bite like give up more than they might
yeah,
normally.
like I think that's why Miami and Toronto wanted KD because they saw like the East is so wide open.
Yeah.
So maybe it's I'm looking at all the West teams and like seeing like who could. I think the Kings are gonna blow it up, but like they don't have anyone that I think is gonna move the needle that says goes to the East, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
Um, Jaw's the one guy, but I don't know if
Yeah.
they'll give him Jaw. Like
Yeah.
Miami, I think would love Jaw.
Yeah.
I don't think the Suns are gonna move Booker because that would I think that would be a some like a pretty actual needle mover. But I don't see them moving him. Uh, maybe honestly,
What team do you see him on the East being a needle mover for though? Like in terms of like you trade him, you're putting him on the same level as the Knicks and the Cavs. Because those are
I
the
think if I think if the Heat get like Jaw and they don't
oh,
give up
I meant Booker. I meant Booker.
oh Booker.
Because you said you
Uh,
think that's the needle mover. I was just trying to think which team.
I think if Detroit, that would be a nice
Okay, well
place.
that's that. Then Detroit's
But
not getting Booker.
I think they have the pieces. They can
You
get
think
Booker. I don't
so?
think
I don't think that much.
Ivy, Holland. I don't think the Asar. I know what you. I think if like if Toronto gets Booker, is that a needle mover for you?
No, but I think they'll be really good, and he'll do the same exact thing he's gonna do next season on the Suns. He'll average like 25 to 30, but
What about Atlanta?
wait, like with him and Trey,
Like it's the package is like
nasty back,
just
like nasty, not in a good way backcourt.
what defensively?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Booker's a good
No,
defender
no,
though.
no, no, no. But it's just Trey is just like negative, negative, negative. But
But
Booker,
I think they would
he
keep Dyson Daniels. It would be like Risa Shea.
no, but
Uh,
what's the thing with the Knicks though? That doesn't. It's like once you just have that, like just soup. You know what I mean? Like we saw how much with Cat and Brunson before he started really like he held his own in the playoffs, but it was just they couldn't even with two of the best wing defenders in the league, they couldn't make up for it.
you don't think Trey Young, Booker, Dyson, Jalen Johnson, and Yeke Congo? I don't know. I like that.
I think they would be a really good regular season team, and they would get pretty easily handled by. Ah, no,
But who in the East is
all the
handling them?
teams, all the teams. Like if they played the Knicks, I think they would give them a series. If they played the Cavs, I think they'd give them a series. All the teams, like if I think if they played like Indiana or the Bot or Celtics when they're fully healthy, I think those teams are having no tr problem with them. But those are the teams that are hurt. So I think they would do good. Yeah.
Or they'd probably trade Jalen Johnson in the trade too.
I
But
just honestly
I'm
don't believe in that many on in the teams in the East. Like I don't think too highly of them. Like all the ones I think highly of are the ones that are hurt now.
yeah, exactly. Even like Milwaukee, I thought was pretty
Yeah.
highly up there hurt.
Yeah.
Um, Shit. I mean, I don't think Devin Booker's gonna get traded.
Yeah, I'd
Maybe
be shocked too.
I like Zion going to like if Zion went to Miami, I wouldn't hate that.
Mm, mm.
If Zion, I mean, you don't know what Zion's actually gonna become, but like if he's anything of what he should be, then I think if a healthy Zion is makes the Heat a contender. Do you think so?
Mm. It's hard to say just because of the state of the East. Like it's so easy just to say yes, just because him. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't take them, but yeah, I think because I think in the state of the East right now, you would I think you'd put them like in the same tier, maybe even above Detroit, but
Yeah.
which is
Um,
like the third best team already in the East. I know.
yeah, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I'm literally doing a Zion to Miami trade machine right now. Uh, yeah, I don't know. A bunch of hypotheticals, but
Man, the Knicks
uh,
might get their championship now.
yeah, the Knicks
Only I
East
don't I think
blah
whoever I think the West is winning it for the next or I mean, next year. But obviously matchups it depends who comes out.
matchups, yeah, and then
Matchups
injuries.
makes fights, whatever. But I don't
I'm
know.
trying to think of a sneaky. I
I'm
think if
confident
Philly
right now saying whoever comes out of the West is gonna win it.
if Philly gets healthy, yeah, I can see them. I don't know because Embiid is so unhealthy and stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Grimes was so good. I think he'll, and he's a shooter too, so I
That
think
is a
he'll.
sleeper team though, yeah.
And then McCain is so good. He just got hurt, and they have the damn third pick. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're gonna do with it because I don't know if you saw that.
I would have honestly tried to use that as trade for KD or something. But
It seemed like they didn't. Now I wouldn't have traded the third pick for KD. I think that's a lot, way too much to be
well,
honest.
but th that goes to the part of like I know they have all these great young players, but like let's just say they don't have Embiid soon, like they're not doing anything with these young players to be honest, Like they're not contending.
You don't believe in their young core? I believe in their young core
Yeah, but not as like contend.
in the
Like Quentin
East.
Grimes is great, but like
Jared
you think
McCain,
he's a number two on a championship team next to Jared McCain if Embiid's not there.
Maxey and McCain.
No,
That's a small ass
no,
backcourt.
no. Oh, I forgot
Uh,
about Max, but still no. No.
it depends if they Maxey and McCain and the third pick, and then well, you can't really trade Embiid because his knees are all messed up. Uh, I don't know what they're gonna do with their. I don't know. Do you know Ace Bailey?
Yeah.
You saw that like he hasn't like he's like
Yeah.
skipping workouts and all
Yeah,
that.
I saw that. Yeah.
I don't really understand. Like
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't want to be in Philadelphia at all.
Yeah. I don't
He
know.
doesn't want to be in like a Kaminga or like in that situation on a contender. Maybe he wants to go to like Brooklyn or like
Mm.
Utah or something so he can be the man. But I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what Philly's gonna do with that pick. I think it's really important though.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll talk about more about the offseason.
Yeah. Hopefully more stuff happens, but I mean the main stuff already happened.
KD happened. Yeah, I'm excited for the draft. You're never really too much into the draft, right?
Nah, I mean I'll follow it though and watch it just so we could talk about it on the pod a lot. I'll do my research, but
Yeah,
yeah,
do some research. So next episode we can. You want to do a mock draft next episode?
sure. Let me think. Uh,
'Cause that's like a big like NBA thing is like viewers love the draft. Like I'm
yeah,
not
I mean
gonna.
I would
I'm
just
one.
have to do a bunch of research because I don't know nothing about that. Like I mean we all know who's going one, but other than that. Like we the top two is like pretty. It looks like it's pretty set,
Yeah,
but
Harper.
unless the Spurs end up trading it, but
Yeah, if you have time, do because I don't know. That's something I feel like a bunch of people. I damn near follow that more than the damn near season. This is the draft
mm,
and trade and all that.
mm.
Like I watch mock drafts like all the way from like right after the draft. They do like a new one. I just watch them all the
Okay.
time, and
Yeah,
then
we could talk about it. You'll just you'll do the most of the stuff, and what I can get.
or
I'll get.
maybe just get like a maybe one prospect you like a
Okay.
sleeper prospect. talk about that. Um, I'll think of a
Like a
sleeper
Brandon
prospect.
Pajemski. I like
Yeah,
Brandon
like,
Pajemski after we just like
yeah, like
yeah. That was
Jamski.
someone I liked and I was happy we got him. But
My shout out. So my friend from my school, he loves Noah Essengay. He's a Clippers fan. He wants them to get him. I don't
mm,
think they're gonna get him. But my sleeper pick, I'm trying to think of one. Carter Bryant was one, but he's kind of rose the draft boards. Like he's going like top 10 now. And he only averaged like five at Arizona. But like he's way up there, so he's not really a sleeper no more. I slay my sleeper right now is who's my sleeper right now? My sleeper is going to
but
be
is that see this is how much I don't watch college basketball. Is that dude that shooter from Duke? He's projected in the top five. Is he that good?
oh
Con
Colin Campbell. Uh he's more of like a fit guy. I don't know. I
so
don't like
because I
I
remember
like
Corey Kispert was got I mean he didn't even I forgot how high he went.
Corey Kispert. He reminds me a lot of Corey Kispert. He's a little better. He's a little bigger and
Really, 'cause
like
Corey Kispert was nice in college.
I like
Really, I mean, he was on a great team though, which sucks and stuff.
I
So,
like Trey Johnson, like, because I there's like the you know
mm,
how it's blue flag Dylan Harper, and then that third tier. It was supposed to be Ace Bailey 3, but now it's like he's fallen, and
yeah.
it's like VJ Edgecombe. I want him to go to the Hornets. He's damn near my third best player. And then I really like Trey Johnson.
Mm,
He's the guy I want to go five to the Jazz. And then I really like Jeremy Fears. Those are all guys like in that like second tier range, so they're not sleepers. My guy, I'm trying to remember his name. He played at he's a shooter. He was gonna transfer to Duke.
mm.
Cedric Coward. His name he went to Washington and he's my sleeper guy. He has like a beautiful shot for him. He looks like perfect 3 and D. So that's my guy this year, Cedric Coward. I think he'll be real
All right,
good. Just
I'll do some research. I'll look into it. But
and then also is
uh,
Sion James. I remember watching him at Duke. He's like a three and not 3 and D, but he reminds me a lot of Aaron Nesmith.
okay,
Uh I think the worst he's like a second round guy. I hope the worst can get him.
because we don't
He
even have
reminds
a first round pick, right?
Yeah, we just have a second, but
Yeah.
he's like a second round type guy.
Okay.
Another
What up? Save it for the next part. Save it for the
yeah,
next
skip
part.
the next
We'll
plot.
talk about it. We'll talk about it a lot. But
Yeah.
all
All
right,
right.
that's all we got for today.
All right, we got. I'll see y'all.
Yeah, see you
Peace.
guys.